Welcome back, everybody. This is Brent from Brickstack Studio. Today we're going to take a tour of another ship that I've built over the years. A viewer in one of my last videos pointed out to me that this is actually a Flickr contest every September. So without further ado, we will take a look at the ship. If you have seen my last video, you'll know I brought a blaster. So grab your blaster and let's go. The ship here, you can see that I have it on this, I think it's an old typewriter stand. There's some blemishes on it, but you know, we can use our imagination that those aren't there. A couple of reasons that I like it on there. One, it's on wheels. Two, it doesn't take up very much space. So let's move forward with this. You can see with the fins on there, you know, they make it look a lot bigger than it actually is. And I'll stop it in just a second here. So when I was putting this together, my initial thought was that I was going to be doing it in classic space theme colors. And the further I went along, at least at the time of the curved slope pieces I wanted to use, and some of the other pieces, really my choices were the dark blue. And I could have went with gray for the fins or wings or whatever you want to call them. But by the time I got to kind of the point of, oh yeah, I could have used gray, it was kind of in deep at that point. So I just went with it. And I still think the color scheme turned out rather well. I am from Michigan. This has nothing to do with the University of Michigan or the Wolverines comic book hero or University of Michigan's sports teams. But we'll play it forward a little bit here. And so I'll pause it here. So on the wings or fins, you can see that. So I use these curved slope pieces. What I was going to do was to have these pieces on the upper and lower side. But as you can see on this particular fin from that angle, that I didn't do the pieces on the inside. So you can see them on the outside here, but yeah, they're missing from the inner portions, like underneath this portion here. It looks the same way as this one does, and same thing down here. Just trying to save some weight, and you know, had I thought about it ahead of time, it would have saved me pieces too. But I have all those pieces. I ordered them thinking I was going to put them on there. So did not save myself any money, but it did save some weight there. Another thing that really surprised me was that these connection points are able to support these full wings like that. Obviously the ones down at the bottom and the ones at the top, you know, they're vertical. It's not that big of a deal. But these side ones are suspended out there, just with what, 3x2 studs here. And then, I don't know, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 8 to 10 on this side. But still, even with not having everything underneath here filled out, still a lot of weight. And then you have this piece too, where each one of these is probably 3 studs wide too. But anyways, yeah, that's the ports itself. I sure wouldn't move it, touch it too much. It would break off. And if you've seen any of my other videos, I don't think most have, but we did move within the last year. This ship has moved twice now. It arrives in pretty good shape. I mean, I move it myself. Sometimes one of the wings falls off, but overall it stays intact really well. And when we go forward in the video, you'll be able to see the two wings or fins on the top. They actually come off with the top. and generally have no real issues there. So we'll let this go forward. See what we have here. I'll stop it here. I think we have a better shot later on. But can see here that I have some Technic bricks holding it up, all in black. You can see some of the blue Technic pins connecting everything in there. Thought I had, and I think I have some other areas where I can't remember how I covered them, but I think I covered those. And you can see that there's a bar connecting in here. Not the most pleasant to look at, but again, most of it's in black. You're looking at it from a much higher angle, and between the yellow and the blue here, you rarely even recognize that black's there. All right. So what will we do here? Okay. Well, let me rewind it just a tad. So we have the two like little flaps here that have some translucent orange cheese slopes down here. I use this domed piece. I don't know which one that would have come off of, but it's the kind of metallic, gold metallic color there. I have some other creatures that have these as their eyes, and so I'll pretend like that was pulled off one of them and used in the ship. So not the most animal friendly ship, but this piece back here, we'll see this pulls off later. Back in here, we have some clear panels that I've filled with translucent orange, transparent orange, just filling that whole piece in there, and then capped off with this. What was that? Where they were the pods years ago would come uh, different kind of robots or something like that in there, but perfectly matches up. Goes fits right over the panels. I do have a piece in there that lightly connects to the end, where there's the kind of the Technic hole in this round piece, but you can slide it off pretty easy as well. And yeah, you can see that a little bit better there. Uh, let's take a look back here. So you can really see the Technic bricks here. This doesn't, these are actually, I don't know if you want to call them additional spaceships or saucers of some sort, but we'll see in a little while that all three pull off. And what you won't see from the video because I couldn't figure out how to stick the camera in here. There is some pegs in there that you can actually have minifigures. They actually kind of stand in there, so it's a little odd, but they can stand it. And you can see down in here, if I rewind it, just put that there. So you can see that I have that piece. It's kind of loosely connecting it into that area. You can see I have some other uh, parts in there as well. And then we'll see later on that these dome pieces will shut on these saucers so that they're actually identical. You can actually see my town in the background, and actually the spaceship that I covered in a different video. All right, here's my ad body in there. So you can see that pulls off this area right here, just kind of slots in. It's a pretty loose fit, but again, this sits on this typewriter stand. There's not a lot of swooshing around of it, and it needs to be removed in order to get the top off. All right, here we go. Yeah. So see, not that big of a deal. And showing the underside of it. Obviously, those wings are still attached on the top, so I can flip that over, and they're staying on, basically showing the underside of how I'm keeping those pieces together. All right, now we're going to get to back saucers. Yep, it is pull off there. I'll show the back of it later on. So then there's the little ship, and then we can open the back just on hinges there, and then we can see in here. I will get better at filming because what we have is obviously a pretty dark space. Not too bad at back in this section, but up in the front, uh, obviously gets a little dim there. Um, so I love the design of the floor. That wasn't necessarily planned. It just kind of happened with the pieces I had on hand. Uh, but I do like it. I try to incorporate some old school stuff in there. I still have some additional pieces that I've bought and want to put in here. But I went with some like try to make it like old school, just big buttons, and you'll see in a minute where I put my. I don't have a fat hand or fat fingers, but I will say my fat fingers in here. And here's me trying to show you that they move around, but it's not very good for the camera. So there you go. Now here's the back. We have one guy there in a status pod. And as you can see there, I figured that even though my color scheme really didn't come out the way that I originally envisioned it, I was going to stick some of that classic space stuff in there anyway. So we have one of the original flags and the slope piece from one of the original 1970s sets. Those are both mine. So I probably should probably put this ship back together at some point. That would be kind of cool. That's dusty. All right. Um, so looking at these pieces, that's just what the saucers fit on. I was trying to go for the least amount sticking out as possible for those to actually stabilize. So that took a lot of different tries, and then also putting these angled pieces on here, they help with guiding it in place as opposed to just like a plus symbol of solid bricks. And when we get up here, you can see the Arctic Explorer symbol here and a few of their chainsaws. Just again, a little nod to some of the classic era sets. I don't know if I've been around and had those collections. Does that mean I'm a classic? Oh, I think I'm classic. You can agree or disagree in the comments. And so that concludes the tour for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you've made it this far, please hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell so you don't ever miss an episode. These are very exciting. hopefully they'll only get better as I learn and grow through this YouTube experience.